You are watching Everything Nicaragua. I'm Tony.
I'm Greg Bond. They call me Bonzee.
Bonzee, what a special guest it is today, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah,
I've been
thanks.
waiting for this for a while.
Thanks to have me.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about what it was like before moving to Nicaragua, what it was like during that transitional period, and then what it's like now. So let's get started with what it was like. Where are you from, and what was it like there before you found Nicaragua?
From Ontario, Canada. Big shout out to the Canadians. There's a lot down here in Nicaragua now, as you know.
Yes, sir.
Life back home is fast-paced, busy. It's 24/7, 365. It's a grind back home. And that's what I did. I owned my own painting company for a long time, worked long hours, and I was getting burnt out, and decided to start traveling in 2016, and found such a different way of life and a different pace of life down here and in Central America.
So 2016 was your first kind of travel to Central America?
Yep.
Where'd you start out?
I started out in Costa Rica, Tamarindo. I got off a plane by myself, bust out to Tamarindo, and I had sort of a map laid out of where I was going to go in Costa Rica. I was supposed to be there 1 month, stayed 2 because I loved it so much and was having such a great time, and I really needed the break. So I really got to explore Costa Rica and really did a whole loop and got to see a lot of it.
So what brought you from Costa Rica into Nicaragua?
Funny story. So at the end of my trip in Costa Rica, I almost died. I was an hour up.
Pretty funny, man.
I was an hour up a mountain with these 3 girls. I got stung in the throat by an Aphagora wasp, and I went into anaphylactic shock.
What's an Aphagora?
It's a 2.5-inch wasp that's huge and lays a huge sting.
And that doesn't happen in Nicaragua.
It doesn't. I've never been stung here, knock on wood. But up in the rainforest in Costa Rica, I unfortunately got stung.
Wow.
I was lucky enough to be with a girl that knew I was going into anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
By the time we got down the mountain, which was about a 25-minute run, and we had to run. And I made it to the hospital with literally a minute left to live, the doctor told me 6 hours later.
Wow.
I was sipping for air when I walked in that hospital, and I could see the look of fear in the doctor's eyes. Anyways, fast forward, the girl that saved my life, she was here a year later, and we had a reunion. I hadn't got to see her since, and really thank her for saving my life. And I reflected heavily over that past year, and I couldn't wait to meet her again. And she was here in San Juan del Sur, so I came and met her, and I instantly fell in love with this place.
Yeah.
I've been coming back ever since. I ended up buying a bar here.
Right. I mean, I hear from so many people the story of gratitude when they get here. It's like a feeling that kind of eliminates fear and anger and stuff. So it's really interesting that you met the girl that saved your life here and you're feeling grateful. I mean, it's a common story with people that come to Nicaragua. So, all right, so what next? You bought a bar?
So I bought a bar here. I came in 2017, spent about 6 weeks here. Like I said, fell in love with it. And then at the end of 2017, I found out that a bar I really came to love here was for sale, right on the ocean. And me and a business partner jumped on the opportunity, and we opened it in 2018. We bought it 3 weeks before the political crisis happened here in 2018, which was devastating for our bar and the business. Ultimately, we had to just get rid of it because it wasn't, there was nobody here for a little while.
Yeah. Yep.
As you know, it did affect tourism pretty heavy, and then as soon as the people started to come back, COVID hit. So it's been pretty hard for the people of Nicaragua and San Juan del Sur, especially being a big tourist town. The people have really been impacted here,
right?
Including myself with owning a business.
Totally. I've never seen the COVID experience anywhere since I've been here since before it started, and I just stayed the whole time. So here it's been pretty relaxed, I'd have to say. Like, that's all I'd have to say. It's been pretty relaxed here.
It has been very relaxed. So after I got rid of the bar, I did some real estate for a while.
Okay.
Did some fishing tours. I was actually captaining a boat and taking people out, which was a pretty amazing experience.
How do you get to become a captain of a boat in Nicaragua? That's like a bucket list thing.
Yeah, it was really a cool experience. So I started as like a host. I'd bring people to my buddy's boat. He was my roommate. Big shout out to Leandro and Bob Marlin Charters.
Dude, I was just talking about Bob Marlin the other day.
No way.
Yeah, I went by the sign and I was like, that name is just, they play Bob everywhere here in Nicaragua. So
I became really good friends with Leandro, started working on his boat, bringing customers, and then I'd go out for the day with him. I'd take photos, I'd take videos. Leandro would captain, I'd host, get people drinks. Really made their experience a great time out on the ocean.
Yeah.
And then it kind of grew. Leandro started captaining Nika Salt, the catamaran.
Okay.
And we had a big demand for people wanting to go fishing and wanting me to be on the boat. So Leandro would give me one of his first mates, and they'd take care of all the fishing stuff. And I drove the boat.
Yeah.
And take people out to Playa Blanca,
right?
And we do some fishing, and it's just such great days out there. I was so blessed to be able to do that for a while. It was an amazing experience.
Definitely. I also have a captain experience. It's just bringing it back up to me. I was on the ferry going over to Ometepe.
Okay.
And I gave the dude 50 Cordobas to drive the boat on the top.
Nice.
So I captained the boat, man. For at least 5, he walked away. He was gone. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
I don't know what I'm doing. I got no business driving a boat in a lake with sharks in it.
Right.
Like, it's just
freshwater sharks.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's not for
pretty
fun.
wild. We're heading. I love Ometepe. Speaking of Ometepe, we're heading there this weekend for a couple of days.
Okay.
Magical place over there. You want to talk about like tranquil and just peace and calmness. That's a place to go and feel that. 2 volcanoes, one on each side of the island. Pretty tiny. You can get around the whole island in pretty much a day.
Yeah.
On a motorbike or a 4-wheeler car. It's an amazing place to be over there.
Definitely. It's such a short trip from here. Like 30 minutes up to the ferry.
To the ferry in San Jorge.
Yeah. And what is it? An hour across?
Yeah, depending on the wind and the waves.
Depending on the wind. Yeah. It is I'd make a recommendation. Don't get on the little boat.
Yeah.
Stay on
the bigger boat.
The big boat is where you want to be.
I have some amazing experience. I've been over there quite a few times, and you watch some people, they want to go to that island so bad, but they suffer from seasickness. And I just watched a guy hug a bucket the entire hour ride over there, and I felt so horrible for him. But hey, he really wanted to go, so good on him for suffering through.
Yeah, and then the key for that is coconuts.
Is that right?
After coconut water has the electrolytes that you need, and you can get over your seasickness pretty quick.
Oh wow!
Pretty lucky to.
I'm pretty lucky that I've never had that issue.
Yeah. Well, you're a captain.
Well, it was captain. One time I did have the opportunity to sail from Panama on the other side, went through the canal and up the coast here, past Costa Rica and everything, from Panama, Costa Rica into Nicaragua. We brought Nika Salt catamaran back.
Wow.
14 days out on the ocean, through the Panama Canal on a 40-foot catamaran, me and 3 dudes.
Whoa.
One night I got seasick. I was on my computer when it was light at dusk, and then it went dark. And I kind of lost my bearings. It's the first time I got and only time I got seasick.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was gone pretty quick.
Yeah, so don't use a computer at dusk on a catamaran in the middle of the ocean.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Free tip.
Free, totally free. All right, so we've talked about like what it was like before in Canada. It's definitely, it's more of a scheduled life, really, is what I've been hearing from people, is that they have a schedule and they do this amount of time,
routine.
Here, it seems to be more flexible with the time. And like time is elastic a little bit here.
We call it Nika time.
Nika time.
If you have a meeting at 9 in the morning, it's probably going to happen around 10.
Yeah, around 10.
The only thing they generally are on time for, if owning a business, my staff was always on time, but I found that you can't force a culture to rush and bring that North American into them. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
And it was a little adjustment period for me. And I see it happening when Canadians come down, North Americans come down. They want service now. They want that beer right now. You can't change the culture and the way of life here. It's tranquilo. It's like their time.
Totally.
And I really love that way of life, and it's the way the rest of the world should be.
Yeah.
Because I think it would help the world be a better place.
It definitely teaches you acceptance. It teaches you some tolerance, patience. Those big words. You get it just from being here.
Yeah.
And eventually you fall into this. Another one is en mañana. Like, en mañana. When will it be done? Oh, en mañana.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean in the morning. It means in a morning. So it could be like 2 or 3 days. You never really know. So
you never know.
That clarity is power. Get clarity on which morning.
For sure.
All right. So now, what's day-to-day life like for you now? We talked about the transitional period. What's it like now?
Well, it's different for me being here now. I'm here for a couple of months as a guest. I'm not here to own. I don't do any. No more bar. No more managing a bar. No more boat stuff. No more real estate. I'm here doing my own work now. So I'm like a 9-to-5er, if you will.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd to sit inside all day and work and stare out at the ocean.
Yeah.
But you couldn't ask for a better view either.
Right. So you've found a way. You're one of the few that have cracked the code on remoter worker.
Digital nomad, they call it.
Digital nomad.
Yeah, cracked the code.
So
I wanted to do it so bad before, and I was trying to find a way to figure it out. I started online teaching, and the last time I was here, it wasn't my jam.
Yeah.
And then I got into voice work, and I've been doing that for over 2 years now, and found a way to just talk into a microphone and get paid for it, and can do it anywhere in the world.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, can you tell us just a little bit more about that? I'm sure people are interested.
Yeah, so I read Audible books, audio books for Audible, ACX. So I've read probably about 10 novels now, different types of books. I also do, I've done thousands of YouTube videos for different clients around the world.
Yeah.
I've done commercials, voice work for that, a little bit of animation stuff just for YouTube channels.
Totally.
And and radio liners for different radio stations around North America. So yeah, it's been pretty amazing. It started slow and I just kept at it, and now I work full time doing it every day.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I love what I do now, man. It really is amazing. And started my own podcast as well at the same time.
Yeah, talk about that for a second.
As I started voice work, I got so real quick story. I left here March 2020 when COVID hit.
Right.
It hit here really hard. The town went empty overnight. No bars were open. You had to close down for a little while. So I decided to go home. My parents were scared for me being down here. So I couldn't go to my house that I owned in Ontario because it was rented out. So to come home for the sake of my parents and for my safety at the time, because they really did put the fear in us about COVID and how deadly it could be, I had to go live in my parents' basement for 4 months.
That's what'll happen.
till I got my house back. So I became so bored instantly during my 14-day quarantine. I opened up my laptop on, I think, the third night. 2 bottles of wine deep.
Yep.
Had no right being live on air.
Yes.
And I grabbed a bunch of puppets and stuff around my parents' basement and started interviewing them in different voices and British accents and this accent, and it got huge views, like 700 like it was quick.
Yeah.
It was a train wreck. My dad even came down and yelled at me one point to stop swearing it because it was F this, F that. But it was
So you're swearing at puppets in your parents' basement?
Yeah, wasted on 2 bottles of wine.
All right.
Good times.
Yes.
My parents are so proud.
Yeah.
But that was the beginning, and now we're 187 episodes completed. Yeah. It's called Bonzee Live on Trippin' with Bonzee on YouTube. So just go to Trippin' with Bonzee on YouTube.
Yeah.
Hit the subscribe button. And yeah, I got picked up by a major network in Toronto after a year of doing it.
Yeah, because I watched it, and it's not screaming at puppets and swearing, man.
It has
some real content.
It really has come a long way. I've interviewed some amazing celebrities, musicians, athletes over the past 2 years now. I turned it into a proper structured show where it's mostly comedy. We'll talk some new stuff. We never talk COVID. We do not talk politics. But we'll talk about anything in between. We show some really crazy, funny videos and laugh at people. And it's just a real fun show to get people's minds off of the madness that they watch every day on TV or listen to other podcasts where it's very heavy COVID and politically driven.
And about how long are those episodes?
I try to keep it around an hour.
Yeah.
Some days we get going even longer if we got some really good guests. It can be any. I think the longest one I've done is just over 2 hours.
Okay.
But I like to keep it around an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been trying to do 3 minutes. That's not going to happen.
No.
Not a chance.
No. The YouTube shorts are really popular, though, but that's not what my channel's about.
Totally.
Yeah, mine's just about entertaining people and making people laugh.
Yeah. So let's end this one with, if you got anything you want to share with people about that are planning on coming down to Nicaragua, is there any heads up tips, something that you can help them out with?
Do your research, I would say, first and foremost, especially if you're going to move here. I know there's a lot of people that have actually taken a crazy leap and just come down here on a whim. They don't like what's going on in Canada and stuff. Fair enough, to each their own.
Yeah.
But I would really say do your research. Make sure it's really what you want to do. Check out, there's different climates here to what we're used to in Canada. There's different seasons. It's not summer, winter, autumn, fall here. You know what I mean?
2 months.
It really is of different this, different that. We're in windy season right now. Rainy season's coming up in May. Bug season's coming up. It brings out, there's so many different things here. It is a beautiful spot. It is paradise. There are so many amazing things to do here. The food's great. The people are great. But it is a different way of life, and don't think you can come down here and boss the locals around and make it the North American way, because that ain't happening.
Yeah, no. If you stay here long enough, you'll probably change a little bit, and a little bit for the better.
And you'll become a calmer, more easier, lucky, happy-go-lucky person. You really will.
Yeah.
This place does that to you. It's amazing when you got sun every day and blue sky and the palm trees, and then just staring at the ocean. I'm lucky enough to have an ocean view, so it's just you wake up, and how can you be in a bad mood when you got that beautiful view?
It's
to stare
hard.
at?
It's really hard. Like, how do I get in a bad mood today?
Yeah.
Do I not look at the ocean? Do I not go for a walk in the jungle? Like, what do I do? Yeah, it's definitely good living. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it for this one, man.
Amazing.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, totally. As we say every day on Everything Nicaragua, adios, nos vemos.